Let's go. Let's go. I'd like to welcome everybody. Real Bread Life, Thursday night. This is number 60. Appreciate everybody taking the time out. If you are joining me, who is that? I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and depending on who it is, I'll let you in or I won't. So, why you gotta stop playing, man?
Goddamn dime.
Whoa, I'm live, man. What's going on? How you? Out of there. So, what I got for you today is this. Couple things I wanted to touch upon real quick. Hold on. Before I do that, let me get to the business. You can catch us everywhere. Instagram is Real Bread Life, which I'm live on right now. Facebook is Real Bread Life with 2 E's. And it's also a Real Bread Life page. I think I'm live on that one. I don't think I have enough followers or people in my group to go live on the group page yet, but I'm working on it. Also, TikTok is Breadville, and the YouTube page is Real Bread Life. So with that being said, I would like to thank everybody for watching the videos. I put up a few shorts. I put up a long form video of the interview I did with Bob. Bob is the longtime bread partner of mine that recently sold his route. Very good interview. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at it. He drops a lot of nuggets, good information, and you can learn some things from it. Also, I've gotten a lot of emails and direct messages inquiring about consulting services and about people wanting me to help them with their business route, their bread route acquisition. And I don't have a problem with that, but sharing the information and getting you lined up is definitely something I can do as far as the basics. When you want a more detailed approach, as far as more of a hands-on and walking you through the process, we would have to discuss compensation for that. So it's not a problem, and I don't mind doing it. But when it becomes very, very detailed, then we have to talk about other things as it pertains to my time and yours. So with that being said, it's not a problem. Questions being answered and basic pieces of information is not a problem. But I can't do full business plans, detailed outlines, intricate breakdowns for everyone. So if you catch us in the group time, you can ask questions. You can get in the chat and we could put it on the screen, and you can get the feedback from all the guys with the knowledge and the information that you are seeking. It's not a problem. So I just wanted that to be clear and give that information to those that needed to hear it. So, as stated, a couple of the things that I did want to talk about today were the upcoming resets that are happening in a few different stores and how they would affect us in different ways, depending on what company you're partner with or which company you work for. Some items we know already have been discontinued because in one of my box stores, there's some extra space already on the shelf. And I just got word that a product that was discontinued for me a few years ago is coming back. So I know that space should be, some of that space that the other vendor lost is going to be my space. Where in the store the racks are getting moved to, if they're even being moved at all, if they're just moving tags. I don't know if it's a simple reset. Anybody that has some of that knowledge or information, feel free to share it. It's welcome, and it's definitely necessary, because to have a little head start or a jump in that area is always a plus. In the past, I think a few years ago, when that happened to us in one of our big stores, one of the big stores that I service, I should say, They had no clue on what they were doing. They had no plan in place. They weren't even sure who was going to do it. So me and one of the other, the OG Kenny, took it upon ourselves to move the racks. We got the tags. We had the diagrams. They just had them laying out, and we did it ourselves. We didn't wait for management. We didn't wait for the store. We just did it, and actually, it was more effective because we understood how we needed our bread to be treated. What happens a lot of times is when they move this bread around, they put the bread in baskets or carriages. Hold on one second. Jay Moore.
How's it going?
I'm good. How you, good brother?
Not too bad. I'm just listening to your commentary, so I just got in here.
All right. All good. All good. I'll fall back for a minute. So, in the past, what has happened, and there's a video on my page. You could take a look at it. I came in one day and there was a bunch of bread in the carriages, and not just one or two. It was like 6 carriages. They put all of my bread and some other vendors' bread in the carriages. And what people don't understand and know is that the bread is heavy. Bread's heavy, especially when you start piling double packs on top of each other. So you pile a bunch of double packs on top of other breads, whether it's, well, here's how it works. There are some breads that are light and fluffy. So you can't put say an Arnold wide pan bread, a whole grain bread on top of a fluffy classic white Sara Lee bread, or a double pack of Wonder bread, or even things like that. So it just was, all the bread was squished. It was a couple $100 for everybody. And what they told me was, it's the cost of doing business. What I say to that is, there's a better way to do business. And that would be to have an understanding of, if you're going to do a reset, don't just pick anyone and say, hey, move that bread off the shelves and change those tags. And I say it like that because this is what happened. They changed the tags on the shelves, moved the bread off of the shelves, but didn't put the bread back on the shelves. What type of logic was that? That was poor decision making and poor management skills. And I'm not saying that it was the head management in the store. It was just the person that was at that level at that time in that area didn't know what they were doing. So I say all that to say this. Hopefully, from that experience and the conversation that was had, that's not going to happen this time around with this reset. That's what I wanted to say. So that's my reset story. Jay Moore.
What you just said sounds very familiar.
Okay.
And if the other guys start to hop in, they'll probably say they had similar experiences. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating, but the communication's poor. And we talked about last week with Walmart, particularly, and there's other stores like that where there's so many people coming in and out. There's so many new employees, new managers. It's starting to get kind of sloppy, very sloppy. How they deal with vendors, how they deal with they don't understand how our business works, how this costs us money. When you have our bread in carts during resets and it's damaged, they don't know that part of it. And
Right.
it's very frustrating. They have no clue. They're not taught, of course, though, either. Sometimes you have to tell them, hey, man, you guys damage on my product. I got to pay for this stuff. They didn't know. They just thought you were an hourly employee. So I can't necessarily blame them for that. But what you just described, I said, okay, that sounds like stuff we go through as well. Usually in a couple stores, smaller majors like a Safeway or something, they'll let us know, hey, you guys got a reset coming on Friday. So if we know we have a reset coming on Friday, we'll get there early. We'll put some empty trays out, or maybe put a sticky note if we don't get there on time. Say, please put it on the empty trays, and we try to get there as soon as we can. Sometimes they take 8 hours to do a reset, and we say, hey, just let the vendors do it. We'll figure it out. Sometimes they do okay, but they will mix and match our bread in different trays, and that gets a little annoying. But yeah, we go through the same thing. So it's a similar experience out here too.
Right. I that's and even with thank you so much for that. And even with talking last week when we met for the first time, we find that their similarities are so great. No matter where we go all over the country, the business is the business. Whether it's flowers, whether it's Freihofer, Beambo, Pepperidge Farm, or Khaleesi. It's just delivering bread, man. So, and we're all in the stores together, and that's always my statement. We're all doing the same thing, right? We're all doing the
Mhm.
same thing. So it's a level of respect. And once we get all of the management and the store personnel to understand what it is we're doing, then it sometimes it should go a little better, but it doesn't always happen like that, which is unfortunate.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Right, right, right. And it's we're talking mostly with the bread and cake side of routes, but even the tortilla guys deal with the same thing. The Snyder's guys, they deal with a lot of the same similar problems that we do.
Right.
I think we might be a little bit more vocal, but they deal with the same issues that we do um, all the time. Yeah,
You know
so
what?
it's all of us. It's all of
Yeah,
us.
it's funny you say that because the Snyder's guy in the territory that I service, I see him for the last I don't know how long he's had the route or in the area, but at least 10 years or more, right? For the last decade.
Mhm.
I probably head nodded him more than even speaking to him. And I think not that he's mad, angry, he just, throws a head nod. I say, "What's up? What's up? How you doing?" And that's it. And yeah, that's it. He just moves through the store like that. Because sometimes I'm always not that I want to have a full all-out conversation with everyone. At one point, I was going to ask him a few questions. I was curious about the Snyder's product, and I was just going to see if he wanted to talk or share some things with me. But I see he's not a people person, and not in a
Mhm.
bad way. That's okay.
Mhm.
Not everyone is. You know what I mean? So maybe he
Mhm.
don't want to share. So
Right.
I'll just
Yeah.
leave it at that. But
Yeah. It's,
the mission guy, me and him are cool as ever. You know what I mean? We kick it all the
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Good rapport back and forth. He comes out of Mass. We're in Connecticut. He
Mhm.
comes down out of Mass every day. And he's a good dude, man. Young kid, but good dude. My boy Hassan. So let me hold on one second. Let me put Flint Marco. What's going on, Flint? Thank you. I got a good rear route I found. Pepperidge Farm combo route. Cookies and bread for sale for 830,000. It's in
Whew.
Columbus, Ohio, doing 23,000 a week. 4 stops: Walmart, Costco, Sam's, and BJ's. Now, what's dope about that is just the 4 stops. It's got to be a powerhouse um in Columbus. Is that near where they play ball at? Because I know Columbus. Is that where that's Columbus?
That's
I think that's where
Ohio
Ohio
State.
State is,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So yeah,
Mhm.
so they probably bang out over there, man. It's got to be a powerhouse. Yeah, that sounds like a nice route. But damn near a milli. That's a lot, right? Even if
I'm
it's
trying to.
doing
Oh,
23 a week, that's a lot. 23 a week is a lot.
hmm. Yeah, I don't know
Is
how they
that is that
structure.
Go ahead. I'm
I don't
sorry.
know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know how they structure those combo routes. 830,000. I wonder how much is bread, how much is cake,
Right.
or the cookie. Excuse me.
Yep.
Because even out here, the cookie routes are obviously more expensive than the bread routes by far. But I'm very curious how they structure that. I would argue. I'm pretty sure the cookies have to be more
Oh
in
no,
value than the bread. It has to be.
they are. The cookies are a big deal everywhere. Even here in Connecticut, you have a Pepperidge cookie route. You are the man or the one man. It just they are a high return route. Hard to come
Mm,
by because no one's really ever given them up. So yeah, we were right. Yeah, you were right too, Jay. Ohio State, which I
Ohio
thought
State.
so. That's Columbus. Yeah. Um. Yeah, they are very profitable. So that makes a lot of sense. And even if it's 23,000, that comes out to a mill 196 a year. So
Mm,
it's gotta be worth it, man. It's gotta be worth it. And you're doing 23 a week. And I don't know if that is gross or net. It's gotta be still that's chunky.
So is he asking he wants to purchase it, or is he
Hold on one
considering?
second. No, he said he found it. He just hold on, you got it right here. Owner says cookies do more, but during summer and especially football season, the buns go crazy. Yeah, it's got to.
Okay.
The roll season is roll season, so I can only imagine over there tailgating,
Mm-hmm.
businesses, homes, just everything. I mean, and that is a college town, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
Now
it's
I'm
got to listen,
yeah.
and with that type of thing, that's got to start Thursday night to Friday to Saturday to you know, and the people that are left over and hang out for Sunday to watch the Sunday games that are pro game. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just there anywhere. When you talk the roll season, and this is one of the things I was going to get into in the next couple weeks as the weather breaks, but like today is the first day of baseball season. You know, that baseball, that's my favorite sport. And once it turns into baseball season, we get into spring, it's the roll season. Whatever your route is, if you deliver bread and you also have hots and hams on your route, excuse me, or if you do any type of bulkies or grinder rolls or things of that nature, if you're not making more money, shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to figure out how to get that as Brandon would say, that prime real estate in your store. You want to be up front. You want to get those end caps. You want to talk and have that relationship with your stores to get those displays in. And that's one of the things I started off today talking about people that have been messaging me, emailing me, and talking about acquiring and buying routes. And today I was speaking with a client, and we were just going over some of the things. And he wants to be an investor, which is something like we were talking about last week when Lamar was on, and him and his partner and how they structure it, and even me and my partner, how we work over the years. And it's different levels of being an investor and owning the business and doing both and partnership. So what I was telling him was, you can be an investor and say, well, he's going to do the business and I'm going to just put the money up. But it's good to understand all of the aspects of the business. And a lot of people like, well, I have other business. I don't have time for that. I just want to be the money guy and let them do it. That's okay. But it's better to understand the business, know what you're putting your money up for to ensure that you get the proper return on your money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right or wrong, Jay?
Right. Most of the guys here have kind of a buy and hold investment strategy in regards to purchasing their bread routes. Most of them, I'll be honest with you, are trying to stay within like a 5 to 10 year window. So right around the time that the route is paid off, the trucks are all paid off by now. Now that they're starting to kind of pump as they get towards the end of wanting to sell the route. Like once they get to about the 5 year window, trucks paid off, routes paid off, I'm gonna pump maybe another year or two to try to get a little more equity into it, and then I'm out. So they don't stick around for, they don't plan on sticking around 15, 20 years. They're like, look, I want to get try to 2x, 3x what I put on my down payment and get that back once I sell the route. That's their strategy, which is fine if it works for them. We've had a couple people that have done that. They've only stuck around for about 5 years. That was their idea, just to buy and hold. But in terms of having multiple people invest in one route or two routes, I haven't seen that yet, because the guys here like to be a little more hands-on. They don't like to sit back and say, well, I can help you with the down payment, you just do the work. They want to be hands-on because they feel like, hey, I don't I don't have a lot of money to just throw out here and just and just say, okay, you guys figure it out. No, I need to see where my money's going. I need to see what you're doing out there, because I want to be a part of it. They want to be actively involved. So that's why I was very curious. Listen to that guy with the $830,000 route. How many people are going to invest in it? Is it just him? You gonna run it solo? Sounds like you might need maybe another truck. I don't know, or maybe a 24-footer, because that sounds like a lot of product that you'll be taking out there, because you're generating a lot of cash flow. So I'd be very curious how he wants to break that down if he's considering it.
Now that right there is a good question. Now, me personally, myself, I think it's not even. I'm pretty sure it's possible to run that route with just one. But hold on one second. Let me get We had a nice one. Can you try to negotiate the price of the routes? Absolutely. There's
Yep.
always going to be, to answer that question, nice one, it's this. There's always going to be an official number from whatever. If someone, say for instance, like as Brandon would say, I'm going to use a route number and I'm selling a route. I want to sell my route, and the numbers that come from the company as far as sales are going to dictate the value of the route. So if it was Beanbo would say this route is valued at $140,000. I get to say, well, they're saying it's worth 140. I want 180. It's mine. You want it or don't want it. I want 180. Well, they saying it's worth 140. I'm saying I want 180. Well, I'm not giving you 180. This route isn't for you. Jay Moore will say, you know what? Just the route I was looking for. That's the territory. I wanted to move over there. I could have the 180. I'm ready to put my down payment down or have the 180. So the price is the price. The negotiation is the negotiation. All negotiations don't go in the favor of the buyer. And that's the end of my long answer. So yes, you can negotiate. It's just not gonna go your way all the time. Hold on one second. Alex, thank you for checking in. I didn't even know there were Pepperidge Farm combo routes. Absolutely. Right. So what happens with all the different companies, and I don't know if Jay Moore, you know this, there are regionally, we were talking about this last week, route structures vary. Whereas we were just talking, hey, we didn't know that down in Florida, say, for instance, they have all of Beanbo products on one truck. The guy in the store I saw in a Walmart was doing the Takis, the bread, the Entenmann's product, the Thomas product, and he said he only had Walmart and Target, 2 stores. So he was killing them with 2 stores. So every company's different. Now here, where we are in Connecticut, out of our sales center, it's just, we deliver bread. We could also do Takis or Thomas, but Entenmann's is a separate entity. That's a company-owned route. And company guys, union, all that good stuff, they work for them. So that's how that works.
Yeah. And so to continue to answer Alex's question, I was looking at Pepperidge Farm routes in Texas, in smaller cities like Amarillo, Texas, Lubbock, Texas, where Texas Tech is located. They have a lot of Pepperidge Farm combo routes. And the reason why they have to do that is because they can't have, they only have maybe a few stores. They're smaller cities. So it doesn't benefit them to have a cookie route and one guy's only going to 2 stores and he's not really making a lot of money. But if I can get the bread and the cookie guy going to the exact same stores, it'll be more beneficial for him, for his cash flow, and for the company. That's really what they're doing. It's a lot of smaller cities that do it, where they have the combo routes. Bigger cities, I noticed that they're more separate, where you'll have one guy bringing in the cookies and one guy's bringing in the bread. But the smaller cities, I noticed that there's a lot of combo routes nationwide.
That makes a lot of sense. And thank you so much for that information. Also, we talked, this was a few months back, and we were talking, speaking about larger and smaller cities. You get into big cities like New York, the streets are so congested and it's so much traffic. They use Sprinter vans to deliver bread. I got a video on the Real Bread Life page. Check it out, share it, take a look at it. I bumped into a guy. I was doing transports to the airports and stuff like that, and he was giving me the breakdown. And he was in town from New York to buy a Sprinter van, and we talked about it. And I said, I gotta get this information. So I took a few pictures and did some stuff, but I put it together. And basically, what he told me is the box truck is so much of a headache that him and his partner got a few vans. And they cover the same territory, and it's more economical and it's faster and more efficient to move around through the city. So just speaking on the thing you said about the larger and smaller cities. So
most of the guys here in Denver, I think we have about 35 routes, Denver, Colorado, for those that are listening, about 35 routes here. All the routes are are being financed right now. I think there's maybe a couple guys that have their routes paid off, but they mostly have box trucks. They're the Isuzu NPRs, either 2012, 2016, 2018. There's only about 5 guys here that have truck and trailers. But the guys that have truck and trailers, they're in suburban areas, so there's plenty places to park. Most of us have regular box trucks. It's just the 16-footers. I think there's a guy that has a mountain route that has a 24-foot box truck. But there is one guy, that's why I was laughing, that has a Sprinter. And he has a couple routes, so he just kind of puts extra product to kind of he only does that to kind of help his guys out if they get a little overwhelmed, or just to a lot of times he has to put out some fires here and there. But it's going to be more common, and that's funny you bring that up to New York City with the Sprinter van. So I could see that. I could definitely see that, especially if it's a cake route, especially if it's cake.
Right. Right. See, and that's the thing with the cakes and the cookies, you're dealing with more boxes. So the Sprinters make more sense. It's harder when you're dealing with the trays. And whatchamacallit, hold on one second. I want to get this in. Alex said, oh yeah, wow, Costco, Sam's Club, and BJ's. That's a lot of double packs. Definitely. Because those are all box stores. And if you know, when you're dealing with a Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's, and those type of stores, they're all double packs. Don't get me wrong, we bring some singles in, but most of the product's going to be double packs because they're trying to sell you some big product. So Carolina, my man, thanks for checking in. Martin's bread guy in this area has over 40 stores, and he works his stops out of a pickup truck, basically taking 2 to 3 trays in each store. Mm-hmm. Now, that's funny that you said that because I'm cool with the Martin's guy in my area, my boy Drew, and he brings in a little more than that, but I could see the Martin's bread is a specialty bread with a high return as far as percentage. So they don't have to bring in a lot. So that sounds about right. 3 or 4 trays, 40 stops. Mm-hmm. That's that. I'm sure that's a very good route. Hold on, what did he say?
In Arizona, I noticed in Arizona there was some flowers routes out there where guys would have 20 plus stops. They weren't making a lot of money, but they're only taking a couple trays in per store. And I was like, I don't know if that's beneficial, but it works for them. If it works for them, great. But yeah, it seems awkward. 40 stops, boy, that sounds like a lot. But if it's a high return, he's probably doing okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you could cover a decent amount of territory in a day, and it doesn't have to, all 40 stops don't have to be in the same day.
Right.
That makes sense. So, I mean, when you hear these numbers, people say, they got 40 stops, and you're like, oh, that's a lot. Not really. Think about it. You could do 15, you know what I'm saying? You could do 8, you could do 12, you could do 15, you could do 20. Mm-hmm. But they may be up the street, down the street, around the corner from each other.
That's true.
Literally plazas. You know how these what are strip malls and these plazas are set up. It's so spread out. I mean, you know what it is. I see it all the time. Like, for instance, we have what's a Stop and Shop, or a Big Y, and they're in one plaza. You drive 3-4 miles in the same town. The other one's right there. That's how much shopping people do. They have a supermarket, and 3 miles away is another same supermarket, same brand. You know what I mean? So it's not far-fetched. Where I live, there's 3. It's called Stop and Shop. There's 3. There's one 5 minutes from where I live. I'll say 6-7 minutes. If I leave that one, 8 to 10 minutes up the road is another one. If I leave that one and keep going in a different direction, in about 12 minutes, I can hit the other one. Okay. All the same chain. But what they're doing is they're servicing the whole city.
Right.
You're not missing anything, man. That's what it is. So the bread business isn't going anywhere. I tell people all the time, this stuff isn't going anywhere. And now with digital sales and everything's online. You got the pickers in the store. You got Instacart, DoorDash, Instacart. All this stuff is not going anywhere. And some people say, why would people be so lazy and to go to the store. I would never send nobody to get my stuff. That's just being lazy. Here's where I'm going to help people out. If I had to go shopping right now, I can't. I'm doing a live. I got work to do after this online. I'm just going to order the food. That's what it is now. It's a convenience.
Yep.
Yes, you run the risk of not getting what you asked for. You run the risk of whatever. But don't we run the same risk with going to the store? So it's convenience.
Right.
You pay and for what you want. Go ahead.
It's funny you bring that up because we really run about 4 different shifts. Like, for what I mean by that is when guys get to the depot, we have like the 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. guys. That's me. And then we got like a 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. group that comes in. And then we have kind of like a 4:30 to 7 when the bulk of people come in to load up and pack out their stores. But then we got a 9 to 5 group of guys that come in. And I don't like when people run a 9 to 5 because just like you said, you have a lot of digital orders now. So those pickers are working the shelves 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, if your product's not on the shelf, they're going to ding you. And then we get those reports that you're out of stock. And one of the issues we have with Walmart, good old Walmart, is a lot of times if the front facings are gone, a lot of times the men and women won't get on their knees and look to see if there's any product behind it or on the top shelf. So they'll just immediately ding you and say you're out. And then we get these reports, and then our managers are going, "What's happening?" I said, "Well, wait a minute. I showed you. I brought all this product in. They're being lazy. They're not looking for it." So that goes back to that communication part too that you brought up earlier. But yeah, it's interesting. The digital market, the convenience market is here. It's not going anywhere. But the tricky part too is sometimes our schematics aren't always large enough to cover the amount of volume that we're getting. They're not looking at the displays either. They're not looking at end caps for the product. If it's not directly on the shelf, you're going to get dinged for it, and that kind of bites a little bit because we have some products that honestly we wish we had more shelf space because it runs out too quickly.
We all do. We all want more shelf space.
Yeah.
There's not enough shelf space, end caps, or displays. So thank you so much for that. Real quick, let me get Carolina has said, yeah, I think he works the majority of them 2 to 3 times a week. Yep, that sounds right. Real quick. Brandon McDonald Thomas, thank you for checking in. At Flowers Route in Arizona, 5 majors and 6 miles on the same street. Yes, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's a sweet route right there. I love that. That's how my route, where I deliver is set up like that. I'm on the same strip, all my majors, my big stores, my smaller of the 3 big stores, and then my facilities are down in the other direction. So yeah, man, I have a sweet, smooth route. And I'll be honest, I cut a lot of the smaller stops out over the years just because I wanted to be on cruise control. So I get it. Thank you so much, Brandon. Carolina. A lot of people got hooked on online grocery shopping during COVID. Yes, it definitely just became a way of life and a way for a lot of other people to make money. And, and hopefully they get to do it and be safe because, there are some people out there crazy, the people that don't think straight. But yeah, there's a way to make money and a way for everybody to thrive with that. So what we got here? Joel Carton. Question for Jay Moore. This is for you, Jay. Do you sell a lot of Canyon gluten-free bread out there in Denver?
We do. What happens is okay, so there's 6 different brands or 6 different types. The ones that sell the most are like the Ancient Grain and the Canyon White. Those are like 1 to 2 or 1A, 1B. Usually ones that don't sell very well, like the brioche dinner rolls, the bagels, the English muffins, and the Hawaiian. Those are the top 6 that we have. They do pretty well. Now, initially when we put them on the market, it was a little slow. It kind of took a couple months. We don't have a lot of facings. Usually it's either 1 to 2 facings of each item per store in our majors, of course. They've really picked up. Now, one of the issues is a lot of the stores still deliver some frozen Canyon gluten-free that they have in the freezer. See, ours is fresh. And so we're trying to figure out, well, wait a minute, why are there certain brands that are frozen coming in direct ship, but we're bringing in the fresh stuff that's on the shelf? That's a head scratcher. That's above my head, but it does sell very well out here. Of course, when you go into more of like a Hispanic or an urban market, it might be a little bit slower because they push more sandwich bread there. But if you go into a little bit more of kind of a suburban college, we have some kind of quote unquote healthier areas, so to speak. It does push harder, but it's been on sale almost every quarter in certain stores, and it does pretty well, man. I'd be honest with you, I had my doubts because I was like, man, this stuff is too expensive. It's not going to sell. Well, I said the same thing about Dave's Killer Bread when it first came out. I was like, man, this stuff's too expensive. Nobody's going to buy it. And look where it's at now. It's taken off. So hopefully that answers the question.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I was replying to text on Instagram. Thank you so much, Jay. Appreciate that, good brother.
No, it's fun. Well, real quickly, we don't have BJ's out here. So I'm like, what is that? That sounds like a club store.
Listen, it is a club store. And the first person that could text me, I got a shirt for you and tell me what BJ stands for. First person, first message I get back, tell me what it stands for, other than Carlos. Tell me what BJ's means. What's it stand for? Let's go. Let's go. Who's that Swift? Other than Carlos. Los, I see you in here. My boy, let's go. Let's go. I'll wait a couple minutes and then
we don't know what Martin's is either. We don't have that out here.
Oh no, that's an East Coast thing. It's Martin's potato bread.
Okay, so it's a specialty. It's a specialty bread.
Yes.
Or okay, yeah. Because I was noticing when I was looking at the routes for sale, and they showed a lot of Martin's in Florida, and I was like, "What is that?" And I couldn't figure out what it was.
Oh, okay. I got you right here, my brother. Hold on a second. I'll help you out real quick, just because I think I'm getting pretty good with this. Let's see what we could do for you here. Ta-da! How you like me now? How's that? Give me 1 second. Bang.
Oh, okay.
See that?
Now, is this in Walmarts and stuff like that? Or is it?
You're not even looking at the screen. Look at that blue at the top.
Okay, sorry, I'm on my phone, so it's a little smaller.
Oh, it is. I'm sorry, good brother. It is. That's a what I did was just pulled it up online. That's the online shopping from Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's in Walmart right there.
So how does it compete? How does it compete with you guys' stuff? I mean, does it? Sales pretty comparative. I mean, how can you? I mean, when you walk in, is it blown out, or is it kind of stays pretty?
There's no comparison. It is in a league of its own as far as the potato breads go. Around here where we live, it's like the top notch. It's a thick, heavy, rich potato bread. Like out your way, I don't know what would be like the specialty potato bread. Like, is there a company that's famous or known for that out there?
Not famous or known. I mean, no.
Yeah,
no.
See, these guys have made a name for themselves out here.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Okay.
Hold on a second. Carolina said Beverly Jean. Yo, Carolina, that was a good guess, man. That was a good guess. But I'm not even going to say it yet. I'm going to let it rock for a minute. I don't use Google for that either. I believe you. No, I know you one of them real deal true blue dudes, man. So, yeah, nah, I won't even say it. Carlos, yeah, they do very well in the summer. That's what I was talking about. I know you just got on Los, but I was talking about roll season rolling around. And who they got there? MB and Benzie. So yes, Shake, and actually there's a Shake Shack opening up here somewhere. And it's funny that my man, I told you that I'm cool with, Andrew, is going to be servicing them, and he can't wait. because they go through them. Shake Shack, that's one of the things up here. They kill those rolls. Like,
Okay.
and think about it as a restaurant chain. Like, for instance, Burger King gets their rolls through Bimbo, right? Through us. And they get food service, plain tray, no name, no name bread, just plain bag stuff. Shake Shack said, nah, we going top notch. And they don't get, it's not like they're giving them a cheaper brand. It's the bread. So they're killing them. Whoever has those accounts are killing them. Benzie, you're absolutely right. Oh yeah, he was just saying, Joel Carton was saying, thanks to you, Jay. Smart for flowers to get into the organic market. Absolutely. Yep. And that's where a lot of things are going. The organics, the gluten-frees, and those 645s, and even with us, we got the 45 cal. We got the low cal Italian bread. They got the low cal Sara Lee breads. Those shorter loaves. And again, some people want the big loaves and the heavy breads, and a lot of people trying to get their lives together. So, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And out here, Thomas has the breakfast market on lock. We can't really touch that. Our bagels do okay, but Thomas has got that on lock. Pepperidge Farm has their swirl bread, and it does okay out here, but Thomas has the breakfast stuff on lock out here. And so we had to get into the organic market because they have the sandwich market taken care of, the breakfast market's taken care of. So it's just like, okay, where do we fit?
Right.
Where do we fit? Because Nature Zone is newer out here. Newer. It's been here for a few years, but it's newer. Sara Lee's been out here, and so they had that market taken care of. So we needed that market share. Absolutely.
Okay. Nah, that's dope. Clint, what's going on, good brother?
What's up, sir? Sorry about the noise in the background. I was about to walk outside.
We know when you come on, it's gonna be a party. It's all right.
Yeah.
I quiet it down if necessary, but I won't let you speak your piece real quick. Before you get into whatever you wanted to talk about, Carolina asked a question. Jug, do you know anyone who delivers to the stadium or big basketball, hockey arenas? I'm just wondering how they do. We have what's called the XL Center. It's where the UConn men and women play and the hockey team. And, when big events come here, that would be like the concerts or anything, that would be the arena. And actually, the guy who used to load up next to me, he used to deliver there. And I don't know what happened or when they lost it or he didn't have it anymore. But that was one of the bigger accounts. Actually, what I'm working on right now is to get into there and some of the smaller arenas in the state to try to just talk to their bread guys. And I'm gonna have some content for you guys real soon. It's funny you asked that. But yeah, Carolina, I don't know anyone right now, but that's what I'm working on for this season, even a couple of the baseball stadiums, so we could just get more familiar with it. And once I get that information, I will be passing it on. Hold on a second. Oh, Clint, you turned your thing off?
Yeah, I muted it while you were talking.
My brother,
I'm unmuted now.
How was your week?
So it was interesting. I got some good news. I mean, it's not good news, but I not being jealous or anything like that, but one of the guys in the warehouse, he just got the they have announced that there's a Publix that's coming to our area, so it ain't in my territory, man. I wanted it, man. Stop. But congratulations to him.
What you're saying is it's good news, but not for you.
Yeah. I was thinking it was mine. I don't want to be a
hater. You want to congratulate the brother.
So I was the first to send him a text message and say, hey, man, congratulations. You deserve it. I'm glad you're getting it and nobody else. Okay. I wanted it bad, too, man. I thought I was getting it because they were doing some construction in my territory. I was like, ooh, that might be a Publix. Because they kept announcing there's a Publix coming to Florence. In Florence, there's a Publix coming. But now it's been announced, so it's in someone else's territory. So
how far across the line is that from you? Like, what was the distance
between
you and him getting
it's one long street. And it's so crazy. 2013, I sold that street. I sold so much territory in 2013. I sold $25,000 worth of territory in 2013. I would
Really?
have been, oh my God, dog. I would have been doing, I would have had 3 trucks on the road right now. I'm telling you, man, I had a really big route. I got so big, man. It was just too big, I wasn't looking at hindsight. I was just looking at what I can manage, not what I can get up a bunch of other guys managing for me. So yeah, I kick myself in the ass every day, man.
Well, so you
I
weren't
sold
looking
all
at
that.
the territory and saying, okay, who can I
Nah,
get to work it? You said, I'm not going to be able
man,
to work it.
man, I was doing so much business. I was so comfortable. Ah, man, I was beating myself up, man, over that. And yeah, yeah.
Hold on a
2013
second.
was I did.
Carolina just said something to that, what you was talking about. So that's awesome. I don't think there's a Publix between
Nah,
Columbia and Myrtle Beach unless there's
no,
one in
there isn't.
Sumter. Okay.
I don't think there's one in. Yeah, I don't think Sumter has one either.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're getting one. I don't know if it's the beginning of next year or maybe the end of this year. 47,000 square feet.
Okay.
So yeah, he's gonna enjoy that. He's gonna enjoy that. Yeah, but
Okay.
I got a pretty decent route too. I would have, if I got that public, I probably had to put a second truck on the road.
Really? Is
The
that
amount of,
is
bu-
done that
the
much
amount of
business?
business I'm doing now, yeah, I've been doing a lot of business already. Um, but uh, but yeah, so and that's the reason why I sold anyways too. I was like, man, if I would have, man, I probably would have doing.
You would have had to get that trailer and hook that trailer hitch up.
That's what he's driving. He's doing that. I got a pickup truck that I can pull it, but I don't know. It seems like a lot of hassle with a trailer, man.
No, it is. It is. I mean, you know what? I can't say that because I've never done it, but it's whoever, whatever their preference is. I just think, I don't know. It's, yeah, I don't know. You know what it is? I think I'm so accustomed to the truck. That's why. I'm
Mm.
just so used to the truck. I don't think I could do the trailer. Like, change is good, I guess they say. I don't think I'm ready to change.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
That's
ready.
true.
I've changed in other ways. I'm just not gonna change how I'm delivering this bread. But hold on.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, nice one. Thanks. But Carolina has said that. Yep. BJ's and BJ's
Beverly
host,
Jean, bro.
Beverly Jean, the daughter of the company's first president, Mervyn Weiss. And that's and look what else he said. People need to step up their Google game. He said he didn't use Google. He knew it. I got you.
So,
I got you,
yeah.
Carolina. Dang, I know a flowers guy doing
Oh yeah.
5,500 in their
Oh yeah.
Publix. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, they
That's
doing,
nice.
yeah. Yeah, I'm doing a lot between my Sam's Club and Walmart now anyway. So I
And,
mean I can,
and it's
yeah,
funny you
so
say the Publix because I'm familiar with Publix just because of being in Florida. And when I go down there
yeah.
to my people's house and hang out or whatever over the years, it's the same thing I was saying about our Stop and Shops or whatever. Those Publix there's one this way, there's one that way,
Oh yeah,
there's
they're
one
everywhere.
there. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, like nothing. And everything's so spread out in the South anyway. It's just,
Yeah,
they
that's a lot of rules.
oh yeah, all that
Yeah, it's very
territory.
rural. Yeah.
Yeah, there's enough
So
business
I
for
got
everyone.
more of a citier. I got a city route. It's the city from Florence because it's like if anybody knows the Magnolia Mall area in Florence, that's actually my territory. So I'm around the I guess the most vibrant part of Florence.
Okay.
So I got lucky. I got lucky with that one. But man, that big sale that I did in 2013, man. I even own the street that I live on too. So
Oh, there you
like I
go.
said, I live in my territory. So I used to live in my territory, but I kind of still. I live like 3 minutes from my Sam's Club and my Walmart. So
So Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah,
You own the territory right there. That's home for real. You eat where
yeah,
you
yeah,
live.
yeah.
Literally
Yeah,
eat
you
where you
well live
live.
exactly. Yeah, man.
That's
And I
dope.
support.
Yeah,
I
man.
support as much as I can, man.
And you spend the money out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Good for
Hey,
you.
did
That's
you get
dope.
those? Did you get those emails I sent you?
Yes. Thank you so much. And you know what? I'm glad you said that. Let me pull some up.
Okay.
But real quick, Alex had a question for all three of us. What are your number one seller in your respective territories? So I'll say for me, just in my BJ stores, I'll go first. Multi-grain double pack Arnold breads sell out as far as a name brand bread. I'm not going to count the private label because in my stores, private label flies off the shelf. But multi-grain and my BJs, those double packs, I bring in 18 3 to 4 times a week, and they all sell out every time. 18 to 24. You know what I mean? And that's just like every other day. And that's just on the low end. You know what I mean? So that's just
What's
that.
What's your price point? You say you're multi-grain. What is it? What brand is
Multi-grain Arnold double pack. I'll
it?
pull one up
Arnold
and show
double.
it to you while you guys are talking. I'll find one and show you a
Okay.
picture of it. And
Okay.
Okay.
they sell for like I think
Out. Oh, go
7.49.
ahead.
Go ahead, Jay.
You got it,
No,
Jay?
out here in Denver, for me, it's really it's our Wonder Round Top sandwich bread, 20-ounce sandwich. Nature's Own Honey Wheat's kind of number 2, but really number 3 is the 21 grain delis that you have in all of our majors. Those are 1, 2, and 3, and they kind of fluctuate depending on the time of the season. Those are the top 3 right now in my market in every single major. Those are the ones that sell the best. So the DKB delis, that's the green one, the bigger loaf, the 20-ounce Nature's Own Honey Wheat, and the Wonder Round Top 20-ounce. Those are basically like 1, 2, and 3.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Shows me how healthy your territory is.
Yeah.
Yes. So our nature's own butter bread. That's number 1.
Okay.
Um, Number 2. Wow. So we also sell bunny bread also.
Mhm.
The little rabbit with a rabbit on it. I don't know if you ever seen that, but I can see
Yeah.
that. I can say that's number 2, but we don't sell it in every major. We don't sell it in
Okay.
Sam's. We sell it in Walmart. We don't sell it in Targets. Um, so I'll say that's number 2, and then number 3 will be so Bunny's number 2. I'll say Wonder 20-ounce would be number 3
Mhm.
from what I
Yep.
see now. Yeah, I see
Yep.
them. Yeah, as a white bread.
Mhm. Yep.
So
Yeah,
All right.
the thing, yeah, with the Wonder 20-ounce, we just have the most facings, and that's probably why it sells the most. And then, of
okay,
course, the honey wheat's right behind that, and then it's usually the Dave. So yeah, that's about right. Yeah, that's what. But yeah, we don't have bunny bread out here. Um,
okay.
yeah, we don't have it out here.
Yeah, bunny bread sales, man. Oh man,
All right,
yeah,
hold on one
that'll
second.
fly.
Carlos, my double pack bulkies sell well. And the summer hamburgers and brioche and BJ's. Yeah, I already know. What do you say right here? In the flowers market I'm in, it's either Nature's Own Honey Wheat or butter
Yeah,
bread.
yeah.
Okay. Also, those Thomas plain bagels and English muffins go crazy
Yep.
out here. Yeah, the plain Thomas bagels and English muffins everywhere. I think they sell everywhere in the country. But Clinton, this is what it looks like.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay.
Those are the thins and those are the double packs.
Yeah. See, y'all got healthy markets, man. We can't. Them guys don't sell.
Huh?
those guys. Those guys don't sell that here. They sell it now. Don't get me wrong, but they might order maybe 2 trays a week, especially that healthy multigrain. And it's a
Yep.
stand-up loaf too, right? It's typically a loaf that you stand.
Yes,
It's an
it could stand up
oven thing.
because it's
Yeah.
a wide pan, so you can
Yeah.
stand
Yeah.
it up or lay it down. And I
Yeah. Yeah.
usually lay them down because you can get 2 on the shelf.
And
And it
that
looks.
sells. How much do you order of that?
I order, like I said, 18 at a time, sometimes 12,
Yeah.
depending on how slow it is.
Wow. Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, 18 at a time, sometimes 12, and they do pretty good.
Wow.
And that's just in
Wow.
that
Yeah.
store, the double packs. For some reason, for the last 8 months, they've been selling out. And I had to look, is there a coupon or what's going on? Did somebody, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I've noticed I guess the more metropolitan you get, the more health conscious people are, man. Yeah, I'm still in the South, and white bread is king around here, man.
I get it.
People are
You're
still,
right. No, the white bread flies, and I see a lot of people still doing the wheat, but I'm getting a lot of questions of the gluten free and things of that
yeah.
nature. So but that usually happens right after New Year's when everybody makes the resolution,
Of course. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. See,
But then,
when he was talking about that the gluten free product. I don't get it. It does come in my warehouse, but a lot of guys that have like food lines, they get it. It's in my Walmart, but it comes through Walmart frozen. So
Yep.
flowers sell it directly to them, and I don't sell it. I would love to sell it, of course, but I don't sell it at all. So
Mhm.
a lot of just guys in my warehouse, they do order it, but yeah.
no,
Mhm.
so I appreciate you guys sharing that, and I hope that that answered your question, Alex. So, and thank you for sharing your information about what sells. Carlos, thanks for sharing your information as well. I just had one of the other things, and before you got on and Carlos got on and a couple other guys, we're talking about the reset, the reset that's coming up, and just some of those things that we were concerned with. So, you could see that back in the beginning of the video. Probably go back. Hold on, got another Benzie. Myers Italian bread for you. Okay, over 1,000 loaves a week for my whole route. Oh, that's dope.
Oh wow. Oh
That's
wow.
serious. Okay.
Yeah.
And where are you located at again, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know if you said it before, and I'm Arizona. Was that Arizona? Or that was no, that was who said there was in Arizona? Let me go back up here. Okay, that was Brandon. Brandon. Yeah, he said he was in Arizona. Oh, okay. Okay. Yep. Northeast Pennsylvania. All right. I got you. All right. Thank you for sharing that information out of PA.
Mm.
So the other thing was, and I don't know, this won't apply or pertain to you guys that much, but in our sales center, and I think it's going to be going everywhere for us. When we come in the morning and we look over our loads and go over our load sheets and check our product, and we finalize, the receiver, we give them our load sheet, and they, that's it. I guess we're going to have a new process coming up where it's going to be, um, what's it like? They're going to check the load and finalize it and make sure it is what it is. We're not doing any more load sheets, so to say, giving them to the receiver.
Wow.
You're going to have, well, it's going to be all digital. It's going to be all digital.
Okay. So
It'll be all
they're
digital.
gonna.
Yes,
Okay.
it's going to be
So
all like what's that? Like iPad, tablet based, and
okay.
they're just moving in, going back to the thing I was saying about online ordering and everything digital, and our handheld's going to be linked into that. So whatever I say is my order, and I finalize and send it. He's instead of paper now instead of me giving him paper now he just can look. Okay, this is what Jerome's got. 1, 2, 3, 4,
How,
5, and he
how
can
about
look and
damages?
good. That's what
How
it
about
is for.
damage, bro?
That's what it's for.
Okay.
The
Okay.
damage and missing. You know what I mean? That's more or less
Okay. Okay.
what it's for. So I'm anxious to see how it goes. And again, when I was talking earlier about the change and all that, I'm okay with stuff like that. This is
I got
just
you.
moving
It's
forward. It is
business.
what it
It's
is.
business. It's
Yes,
business.
it's
Yeah.
business. You had to see the guys when we first got these new computers. Oh my God. You would have thought
I
someone
know.
was going to jump off the bridge or in front of a tree. No, it was crazy. What the hell? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I just
They
shake
hate
my head.
change.
Yeah.
They hate change, man. People hate change. They have to get ready.
Oh,
Get change
cranky.
or get out of the way. Yeah.
Listen, how are you younger than me and a cranky old man?
I know.
And
Yeah.
I'm not
People
that
just
young.
comfortable. When you're comfortable, you don't want to switch. You don't want to do anything different.
Right.
That's why
Right.
I purposely get uncomfortable on
You know what's
purpose.
crazy? I was just about to say, see, real people know you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. Right.
Once you
Oh yeah.
master being uncomfortable and you're comfortable with it, life changes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
And people can't deal with that. The people
Yeah.
around you don't understand it.
So
Because
you saying they're taking away your handhelds? You
no.
say you're
Our handheld in the morning, we punch in, make sure our count is accurate, what we have, don't have. Once we punch it
okay.
in and complete
Okay.
and say, all right, this is my load. Instead of me handing him a sheet where I did all this checking and crossing, it's
Yeah. Yeah.
directly going to be right there. And he could just punch up my route 457.8 or whatever and see it and look at the stuff right here. Okay, yeah, you're good. So
Oh, so
again, it's
he.
kind
Oh,
of more streamlined.
so in other words, he's checking behind you.
Yeah, well, it's just he can see.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both, I guess, but not really. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not to that extent, is what they say.
So
But
it takes me.
I see it how you said it.
So it takes me literally on Mondays, Thursday. It takes me about an hour and a half to check
Yeah,
my load in, right?
right.
So you're telling me I got to wait for you
No,
after I'm done checking my load in, and I'm ready to go now because I'm
no,
already
but
getting there at 7 o'clock.
now I like that statement because here's the conversation that I've had with the guy in the sales center that was giving me the information, and we laugh like you just did about this because within the 30 routes in our sales center, say he tells me all the time, stop saying depot, say sales center. So I'm going to oblige him because he's right. A level of professionalism. So in our sales center, of the 33 routes, right? People
Mm,
start coming in at 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning,
Yep.
all the way up
exactly.
until 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's happening is the guy that's going to be saying okay on these routes, he leaves at 7. His shift is over.
Exactly.
But
Oh no,
they're
no, but
no,
they got you. No. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
hold
sorry.
on, but they're holding him there because he's not able to get his stuff done, waiting for everyone. So now what's going to happen is when he's done at 7, he's leaving. If you took your time getting there and breaking your load down, you got to wait for management to come in the building and say okay. There is
Okay.
no leaving until you get okay. And I get
Okay.
it. So what you're
Okay.
saying is if it takes you an hour and a half, you know you're going to be there an hour and a half before 7 o'clock, right?
Right.
That's
So I'm
all.
leaving around 8:45, 9 o'clock. Right. So the thing is with you guys is
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm like,
You wouldn't be
so
leaving my spot at that time.
so the thing is with you guys is what I realize and what I know for a fact is the guys here, the Bimbo guys here, they have to leave the warehouse by 6 o'clock. They're under some type of contract. If they don't leave the warehouse by 6, they get charged like $100 a day.
Yeah, listen, let me tell you,
So
I
we're
love this.
we're
I
not
love
like
this.
we're not like that. You know why we're not like
no.
that? Because I pay $200 a month to rent that. I'll put a bed right there and go to sleep all
Because
night
you
until
pay
I
for
get
that
my
space.
load.
I'm gonna use it until I'm done with it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm renting that area. I'm paying fifty
Listen,
dollars a week. Man, I wish they would try to tell what?
so
What
I
was I
love
renting?
that.
Okay.
So listen, now here's the other part of it. We got guys in our sales center that get into the contracts as well like that and say, well, you can't tell me to leave. You can't tell
Wow,
me to
okay.
get out. So here's what happened. They had a thing at a time when you had to be off the floor at a certain time. And some of those guys, the same ones that got cranky when we got them handhelds, they got cranky when they told them they had to be out by a certain time. And you know what happened? They stopped telling them they had to be out by a certain time. So listen, when you say that, it just clicked with me. Okay, you don't got to be out at a certain time, but now we're doing it like this. And if you ain't out by a certain time, you got to wait for someone to come to let you out by that time. You see what I'm saying? So they did like a little catch 22.
Well,
Yeah, but what caused all that?
Oh man, let me tell you, there's not the sales center I'm in, but there's another one, and I'm not gonna say where it was. They were grilling in the morning. They're having drinks in the morning. They're just kicking it. Like, when they told me about it, I was like, in the morning? They're like, man, these dudes got the grill going. I said, when do they go deliver the bread? He said, when they get ready to.
That's okay. So that's what caused it. That's what caused it. Okay.
Oh, but this was a few years ago. I don't know if they still do it like that, but.
Oh, okay.
But you know what, Jerome, I am a team player. Now, if something was to come down and they was like, hey guys, if they explain the case, I have no problem getting up in there and I don't have no problem doing that. But right now, me paying rent there, I'm like, dude, you can't kind of you forcing me to be off. How do you do that? Like, oh, the rent is just for
Right.
your bread. You give me your permission to park your truck and do all of this. I mean, I don't get it. But like I said, I'm a team player. I will play the game, and if it's a valid reason on, okay, guys, if something like that was to come down, because a lot of guys do steal bread. They fake damage, they cut off loads, they do stuff like that, and I get it. You know what I mean? I understand, and that's probably what they're doing now with you guys, because they know guys are getting over. They're cutting off 50 trays and reselling the 50 trays by cash and doing what they're doing.
Oh yeah, nah. Well, here's the other part of that, and what you're saying makes sense and sounds good, but here's where it doesn't make sense to me. They collect the bread sometimes and send it back to the crumbler, meaning back to the warehouse or wherever it came from, because we don't have a thrift store anymore. This was one of the conversations we had a little while back. If you remember, we were talking about the stale coming back. There's no more thrift stores. And that bread gets brought back to the center, loaded on tractor trailers, and they cart it off. So the same goes for damaged bread, returned bread, out of cold bread, overshipped bread. They don't have a system in place. And I said this before, they do make donations. They do give to the charities and things of that nature, but there's not, they don't have that many charities to give to that I know of that come pick up that bread. So it may have to do with some loss prevention, as you're saying, and I'm not going to say it doesn't. And again, that's above my level of information. I just know that there's a lot of bread. There's a lot of bread.
And I knew they were feeding the hogs. Well, they do a lot of feeding with their hog farmers with us. A lot of hog farmers are coming.
They do the same here. They do the same. And it's funny you say that. I saw one of the trucks there today, just dumping. No, in a mini dump truck.
Yep.
And again, that's a good thing. And I don't know what their business is. That's not a part of the business that I do, So my concern is how we do business as partners and how that is beneficial to both of us. They're happy, I'm happy. And that's the goal, right? So, Jay, do you guys down there in Denver, when you bring the bread back, what is the process over there?
No, it's you're alluding to it. We have a couple like Catholic charities that come bring a 26-foot box truck, and they'll just take, when we bring back the credits, they just kind of pull from the good stuff, and the other stuff they'll just throw away. We have one guy that delivers to like a homeless shelter. Everything else they toss. No more thrift store. We had one, and the sales were kind of slow, and they closed it down. But yeah, when we bring it back, it's just either they toss it, or we have 2 or 3 people to come in and pick up what they need to donate, and that's it. That's as far as it goes. Now, in terms of the check-in process, it's probably exactly the same with Clint. Come in the morning, there's nobody checking us. I mean, we're on our own. I know every once in a while you hear someone might be stealing product. We got cameras, but they don't use them because nobody checks the cameras. Yeah. I mean, nobody checks the cameras. The managers aren't getting in that early to check the cameras. They don't have time for that. But nobody really gets penalized for being at the depot too late. Most of the guys here, outside of a couple guys that run the route like a 9 to 5, like I was mentioning earlier, they're in and out. Guys want to get done and go home. They really do. So the bulk of people are gone, by 6 a.m. Like I said, there's a couple 9 to 5ers, but by 6 a.m. they're gone. So usually for us lately, when we check in our stuff, it's mostly if it's just product that's just damaged, or, the dates are wrong, so we'll damage it out. That's really about it. And they don't really bother us about it. They really don't. If someone has a tendency where they're constantly cutting product off, they'll check them about it. But we usually don't have issues like that out here.
So you're saying if they see a pattern or something like that, that's when it's
right. Because we'll have some people. Yeah, we'll have some people that they know they over ordered, and so they'll try to cut it off or try to damage off 10 trays, like they're not going to notice, and they'll say, "Hey, what happened here? Oh, well, all this stuff was damaged. Well, then where'd you put it? Well, it's over here in the corner." It's like, well, it's not damaged to us, and they cut it off because they just got too heavy.
Okay.
And they pull little silly stuff like that, but it's only a handful of guys that do it. More often than not, it's mostly just damages. But nobody checks us. There's nobody there. I mean, we're on our own. There's nobody checking us. So it's like they're just kind of trusting us to make the right decision.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the same way.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's dope, man. And I think for the most part, if we had that same type of issue, I mean, not even issue, if we had that same type of leniency and freedom to move in that way, most guys want to make money.
Right.
And because of one or two that, they just always want to look for an angle to cut a corner, get over, or just be thievish. I don't even know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. So, and that's what makes it bad for everyone else. You know what I mean? And again, stealing was here before we got here. Stealing's going to be here when we're gone. So you only shoot yourself in the foot. You only cut your own fingers off, and you only hurt yourself. So
now, a lot of times too, when people cut off bread, believe it or not, if they cut off bread and let's say put it in the middle of the depot, more often than not, somebody's going to grab it and add it to their load. So it usually it'll balance out because whoever doesn't need it, someone else will grab it. They will. But yeah, it's only, like I said, it's only probably a couple guys that are trying to do some sneaky stuff. But more often than not, we're all pretty honest. Whatever you order, you just have to learn how to make your adjustments. And you just, I would say it's a pretty responsible crowd. Guys are taking the route seriously. And like I was telling you earlier, most of these guys, they're trying to buy and hold as an investment strategy. So they're taking it serious because they're really trying to push their routes so they can try to sell them later. So they're taking it serious.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I like that. What you said about, people moving the bread, they cut it off and put it in the middle. And what happens with us is how it used to be was we had to this goes back to the thing about the receiver. We had to let him know. So you and Clinton are in the depot. I'm giving Clinton 2 trays. Clinton's giving you a tray of something, and I'm getting something from you. We had to write that on the sheet. You write it on the sheet, route such and such is sharing with such, and we give it to him. Now we just put it in the handheld, and the computer will figure it out because they're going to and I guess it's there anyway. That's what they're doing now, which is going to be a little bit better and a little bit easier. We don't have to tell them what we're doing. Speaking to your point, if there's 2 or 3 trays and I could use them, for instance, you see how I'm saying I'm selling out those multi-grain double packs. If someone puts 3 trays over there, I want them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, whatever I add to my load and put in a store where scan base is going to go through the register, I'm going to get my money. Going back to what you said, if I don't put it on my load and I go, now I'm just, like you said, eventually you're stealing. It's going to catch up to you.
Right.
It's going to catch up to you. So, I mean, you run it at your own risk, So.
Yeah, we have to transfer every, from route to route. We typically do a paper transfer towards each other. We don't, if something is in the middle of the floor, I'll see my ASD, we're good about whatever we order, we get. There's no cutting off. I mean, my ASD, he's an ex-military guy. He's honest. He'll do whatever he can do for you, man. If you call him, he's there. But if you order something, see, he's looking at his bottom line too, because he gets a bonus by the units that he sells. So if I'm cutting off stuff because I knew I ordered too much, nah, you ordered that, you need to eat that. Yeah, that's your stuff. You need to cut it off, or you need to do something with it. So a lot of that stuff like that, we rarely have things lying in the middle of the floor because people have to take what they order.
Right.
But if we do see if we sometimes we'll transfer stuff in. There's a miscellaneous route that we'll use to transfer it in, but it's typically route to route. So it's always paperwork. But we can load stuff in now. If the bakery sent a bunch of extra stuff, we can load it. We're not even allowed to relay anymore. They cut off the relay cap. We typically used to relay it in, but now we have to load it in now. So yeah, a lot of things have changed. But this guy we have, he's strict about that. But I understand and I get it, you know. He's pushing sales. He's pushing sales on us. You know, I don't accept it all the time, but sometimes, you know, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, Clinton, could you help me out with this? And I'll look at the sales. I'll look at, hey, am I even selling 5 trays of that? Why would I order 20? But if he can say, well, hey, man, I can go in there. I can hook you up with this, that, and the third. I can do this, and he'll work for you actually. So I really do like our new ASD that we have now, because if he wants you to buy something from the bakery, because that's how I look at it. I'm buying directly from the bakery, and he's there. Right. Actually, he's selling me stuff. So, you know, okay, I'm buying this. So how am I going to sell that if I'm not even selling 2 or 3 trays of it? Why do you want me to buy 20 trays of it just to inflate the numbers? And now I have to pick this mess up and go with my Always Fresh. And then now I'm paying. No, I'm not. No, yeah. There's certain things I just won't do if it does not make sense. But I do a lot to help this guy out, because this guy, you know, it's just to try to make him look good. But not to hurt myself. But
listen, real quick. I want to get. You had sent me the email, and we were talking.
Oh yeah.
Was it last week or the week before?
We talked last week, but I sent it. I got it.
So yeah. Real quick before I pull it up now, just to let the people know what it was about. It was out of Canada.
It was out of Canada.
About the product being mislabeled, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got it right here. Hold on a second. So what this is, if you guys can see that. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the headline right here. Grupo Bimbo files statement of claim against Maple Leaf Foods, Inc., seeking more than $2 million in damages. All right. So, and I'll let you talk about what it was. Basically in Canada, they had labeled the food as having one of the former senior officers of Maple Leaf in relation to the sale of Canada Bread Company. So they had fraudulent and negligent misrepresentation during the Canada bread sale process, or restitution for unjust enrichment. So what that means basically is, for instance, they were saying there's no gluten in the bread, and it was gluten in the bread. And I don't know if that's what it is, but it was something to that effect, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was basically more or less saying it right. And, you know, Clinton, we were talking about, and Clinton has sent me the article, and I don't know if that's still going on or not, but that's a real serious thing, because that's the same thing as labeling something with no nuts, no peanuts, or no, you know, peanut products or whatever, and having it in there. You know, I don't know what the ingredients exactly were, but whatever it was, misrepresentation is misrepresentation. You know what I mean? So hopefully they get that straightened out. And I think
it was old. It was something. Yeah, it was something with the and now there's another company starts with the P. It's a food and allergy company that I think that America, or I don't know, that is hooked with, and mainly the FDA. Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I sent you 2. So you're talking about both, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. The maple leaf. See, when y'all brought up Canada about how y'all settle through Canada. That's when I brought up Canada and that lawsuit. That's a really big lawsuit, a defamation or something like that.
Right.
But the mislabeling, I think that's a hit piece. I think because when you look at the back of a lot of the mislabels, even on our product, may contain sesame seed. May this is made in a facility that has, this. I thought that just was a hit piece because of I'm thinking politically. I'm looking at it from a political standpoint.
Oh, hold on. I
with
got it
what
right
Bimbo.
here. This is the one. This is the one you were talking about. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I got to get this one. This is the one you were talking about. This is the one where for Bimbo that they warned him. This is the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had pulled the other one up by mistake first. That's the one I think you were really talking about, and that was the mislabeling right there.
But I think that was more. I think it was bigger than that. Yeah, man. If you can, yeah, I'm thinking it was bigger than that. But we'll see. Just a reason to try to, I don't know, to try to come after using the FD. And then you got what's his name? The Robert F. Kennedy guy. He's gonna yeah. So he's over the FDA and the food and things of that nature. So we all might, I don't know, with bread and things of that nature. I've noticed my product has been looking a little light, a little flimsy. Because I don't know, they're ingredients wise.
Right.
Yeah, they taking some of your ingredients out.
something's coming down the pipe, man. I'm telling you, man. He was telling how America is being destroyed from the inside out through the food and all of this. So,
yeah.
I understand people ain't gonna stop eating bread, but these companies, when you got, I swear, when I started, I had 4 days to sell a loaf of bread.
Right.
Then about 7 years later, I had a week, and currently today I got 2 weeks.
Right.
To sell a loaf of product.
Some of our bread is 3 weeks, 2.5. It's nuts. It's nuts. I keep looking like, when do I got to pull this out of the store?
Right.
What the hell? Oh, I'm getting backed up. You know how long it took me to restructure my ordering patterns because I was so used to doing it the same way. And then I'm coming in to pack out and I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm going behind. I'm on top. And these are not stores that move that fast. So I had to fall back and it took me a minute. I'm good now. And then sometimes I miss. I'm light in some areas. So hold on, Carlos. We as RSR are not allowed to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in our truck. Oh, that's crazy.
Really? Huh.
Yeah. Look, my man Carlos just said, Clint, they can't even eat peanut butter and jelly in their truck because of the allergens.
Oh, wow. Wow.
If you're eating peanut butter and jelly, that means you're touching the bags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I get it, but that's wild.
Yeah, I never heard that before. Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, fellas, I appreciate y'all taking the time out, man. Another Thursday in the bag, hour and 23 minutes. This is number 60. This is a milestone one for me. Listen, if you ever get a chance, if you get a chance, go back and look at 1, 2, and 3. You'll see a difference. Oh man, it's how you just had to come in and out, Clinton.
Yeah,
no, I'm not worried about it. What I'm saying is, in my earlier videos, you wasn't able to come back. Yeah, we were freezing. We were it was crazy. My Wi-Fi was bad. My computer was bad.
people don't think you put a lot of money into this. People don't understand that, man.
Yeah, man. I listen. I did what I had to do to get where I wanted to be, and I'm here right now. And there's more for us to do. And I appreciate you guys taking the time. And it is a smooth thing. It is smooth now. But like I said, Carlos is on right now. My man, nice one. My man, Marty, my son's godfather, is on. He's on all the time. He knows what it was like because, like, I would get with him. Like, a lot of times before I'm on with you guys, I have him, my niece, and a couple other people. I get on with them just to test the quality, the microphones. And I have a whole setup over here now. Before it was just starting, and it was the beginning. So I'm glad you guys take the time out, man, and spread the word, share it, send it to somebody. You got somebody in the depot or your sales center, show them it, and tell them, watch, man. They might have something to input. Something they might say might be useful to somebody else. The more the merrier, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Hey,
yes, sir.
And to everybody that came on today, Marco and Benzie, Alex, who else? Carolina, Joel, and it was somebody else. Brandon, thank you so much. All right, Flint, I did get you. I appreciate y'all. It's working, man. It's working. I'm getting more emails, more texts, and like I got more to come. And I promise you, when I get down south, I'm gonna find you, Clinton. We're gonna do an in-person video.
Yes,
And
sir.
when I come to the West Coast, Jay, I'm gonna look you up. And if you ever come this way, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Massachusetts, that's not too far from me. Give me a heads up and make sure I can link up with you, man, because it's not that far. We'll make it work. We'll make it happen. So,
have you heard back from Lamar?
No, I haven't. And
I'm interested in how that's transpiring with Lamar. Very interested in that.
He checks in on like with the videos and he'll comment on certain things. So a lot of times he may have been watching right now and just didn't comment. So once I get a chance to talk to him, I'm gonna try to link up with him because he's in the state. He's here. And and I'll let him know, like, to try to get on next week and y'all could chop it up. So appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll get with you next week.
All right, Joe.
Be safe, good brother.
All right, brother.
Peace. So with that being said, that's all we got for today. I'd like to thank everybody for checking in on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. Stay tuned. Keep sharing. Keep watching. I'm going to get off of here and put up a couple more shorts. Got another long form video coming soon. RBL everywhere. Facebook, join the group, Real Bread Life with 2 E's. It's got the red circle, Real Bread Life. Instagram, Real Bread Life. TikTok is Breadville. And you should be watching on YouTube. That's all I got for now. Stay blessed and keep stacking. Shoot this across the screen. Anybody wants to get anything, you could check us out right there. Sweatshirts, hats, sneakers, pillows, cups, mugs, t-shirts. Build together or struggle alone. It only works if we work together. Number 60 in the bag. See y'all next week.